Dr. Kravitz, you have a visitor in the main lobby. Dr. Kravitz, a visitor.
Hello! Today I'm doing a different training video than I usually do. But before that, my qualifications are as follows. I am not a dog trainer, I'm a people trainer. But my video is about dog problems. Okay. Now, being a retired law enforcement, I've dealt with dogs forever. And being a dog person, I've dealt with dogs forever plus whatever. So, when you're walking your dog, which I do every day, 2 or 3 times a day, let's take it from a neighborhood perspective at first. But there's some basic rules that I'm going to tell you that I've had to deal with other animals other than dogs. I've been charged by elephants, mountain lions, ostriches, rattlesnakes, aggressive bears, and lots of dogs. And the number one rule before starting the dog thing is, in almost all circumstances, never run. Ever. And I was able to deal with most dogs and get the job done without a problem. You know, like when you're checking houses, you got to check both entries. You got to make sure he's hiding in the back. Because this is where I met most of these dogs, and I got called to their house or your house if you're watching. And so you go to search, and the dog doesn't know good guy from bad guy until he gets to trust you. You have to build up the trust on occasion, especially if you think you might be coming back. Well, I had another case where I didn't get bit, but they had a wooden fence in the front, and I didn't know of a cyclone fence along the side, going this way. So I opened the wooden fence, one of those things that's locked, but it has one of those locks. If you reach around the back, you can flip the thing up maybe, if I can reach it, and I can get in and go check the backyard. So I've got my arm stuck in the wooden fence, I'm trying to reach that thing, and all of a sudden something warm and wet is touching the end of my finger. I pull it back, I walk around the corner, and there it is sitting, I bet you a 120-pound Rottweiler looking at me. And I talked to him all friendly, he was nice. I figured he was friendly, because if he wasn't, I wouldn't have a right hand today, because I was stuck on that fence. So I learned a lot from dogs. Had a mountain lion stalk me one time, I had to dispatch it. I really love animals, don't get me wrong. Had a bear popping his jaws at me, had to dispatch it. This was in Colorado. I had a big bird that'll gut you in a heartbeat in Africa. Charged me. So I've had a lot of animals, believe me. And like I told you, don't run. Now, and I said I would start with the neighborhood now that I got through that introduction part. For around normal neighborhoods, you walk your dog, one of the easiest things to carry are a spray. Now this particular spray is called Spray Shield. You can see it, Spray Shield, okay? Now, I have tested this, but only on my own dog. I've got a dog that's got a lot of high prey drive, and he gets upset sometimes. You know, because some people run, and they don't understand that when they run at a prey drive dog, they take that as an aggressive action. And so he growls out, and I spray him with it, and he'll stop what he's doing and look at me. It doesn't hurt him. I forget the stuff that's in it. It's a natural stuff. It's pet safe. And it works well, but if he's really upset, it doesn't stop it, but most of the time it does. Now, this other stuff I have is called Halt 2. Now, this stuff's supposed to work good, according to dog people. I have connections to a lot of dog people. And the post office supposedly uses this. I never asked them, but that's what it said on the internet, more research. And I've never sprayed anybody with it. But the bad thing about it, according to all the dog people, when I say dog people, I'm talking about people who train dogs. Go to dog shows. That this is bad because if you shoot it in the wind, it comes back on you, you can't see. Because it has that cap-shaped spray. It's just kind of like what police use. me when I wasn't protected. And I have used this on people and dogs many, many times. This, for me, did not work so well with dogs. At least the one made for humans did not work for me on the dogs too much. And I got sprayed with it many times myself. It just happens when you're out there, cops spraying stuff around. They always got stupid people when you're at work, cops, teachers, bank robbers, whatever. Can't trust anybody. But what I'm saying is, this I can't testify to, but I have a can. I carry it with me in case, say, a dog would grab my dog by the neck, I'd spray it right up his nose directly and see if that would make him break free. Anything to keep me from shooting the dog or hurting the dog. If I can spray it up his nose and it breaks his attention, he left goes my dog, maybe I can clear the situation. So it's called Halt 2, but if you get sprayed in you, now I've been sprayed with it so many times, I can still fight with it in my eye, but you probably could not. Very, very irritant if it's anything like the police spray. The new police sprays are pretty hot on you too. So that's 2 sprays that you can carry that will probably help you in that type of circumstance. If you're in an area where you're known a lot of meaner dogs, you see a mean pit bull, it's from a mean owner. Pit bulls raised by friendly people are friendly. But if you see a mean guy, it looks like he has a pit bull just for image, and he might train that dog to be mean. A lot of people in the inner city do that. A lot of people do fight dogs. I had to deal with one time, and the guy, I was walking my dog in Airedale, and he has a pit bull. He said he's going to let it loose and get on my dog, and I told him, after I took his dog out, I was going to take him out, and I wasn't playing. He knew it. He left. But I'm saying, those kind of people you may run into. In that case, and they do let your dog loose and they grab your dog by the neck, what are you going to do about it? This stuff may work to shoot up his nose. The other stuff may, if you directly up his nose, whatever it takes to get him off you. But you're putting yourself at risk, so I would use my left hand. Because if he comes off that dog and says you're the one hurting him, then he might take your arm. Well, I'm just giving you an option. Your best option is awareness. If you see a guy coming with a mean dog, it looks potentially mean. That's the problem with pit bull. Is a pit bull, now it's time again. A pit bull, they're nice, and a pit bull are mean, but with distance you can't tell one from the other most of the time. I can read them pretty good. But just because the potential was there, if you have enough distance to go in a different direction, that's my advice. Don't have any conflict if you're not there. Best way to avoid any fight, gunfight, fist fight, dog fight, is don't be there when it happens. That's the best thing, but you don't want to run either. So if you got space, you can turn around and say, I'm going to go this way. Or if you can duck into a corner behind a parked pickup truck, anything, and you can stay behind that when a dog walks by. And don't think, a lot of people say, well, the guy that's coming is a white people, and I don't like white people. Well, in this case, don't worry about what color they are. You're not being prejudiced. You're worried about that dog hurting your dog and or you. So if it looks like there's potential, they got a little Chihuahua, they might bite just as often as the pit bull, but you may not be as worried about the Chihuahua. But I'm just saying, the Chihuahua seems aggressive. I'll do the same thing. Because you don't want to hurt your dog, you don't want your dog to get hurt. So I'm trying to be fair here. So animals in general. Now, when I say don't run, because it kicks in their chase mode, their brain, they're predators, that doesn't mean you want to look scared, and you don't want to look aggressive either. If you go, they're screaming at them, doing this, that's what pit bulls do. That's aggressive. You want to use a stern voice. Back off! Mind your business. Sit! Stay! Use commands you might hear all the time. I'm not talking to you, baby. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the camera. I'm talking to the camera. You're a good boy. You say stern stuff. Sit! Move! And slowly move off. Just a command voice. You're not showing your teeth. And don't scream, get your eyes all big. That's aggressive. That'll get you bit by a dog that wasn't going to bite you in the first place. That's how they read that, aggression. What we think is a smile, that's teeth. Animals think that's aggressive. including monkeys. I got a relative, I proved that to you. Had on sunglasses, which is a stare, smiled at the monkey, got bit. So in the animal world, that's aggressive. You don't want to be aggressive, but you want to be defensive, and he knows you're not playing business, and he'll go by his business. Now most of the time you can spray them almost with anything in that circumstance, and not being super aggressive. If you got a spray bottle of water sprayed in the face, so back off, they're probably going to back off. The pit bull, if he's determined, probably not. Even a sporting dog, a hunting type dog, if for some reason he wants to attack your dog, the water may or may not stop him, but it takes their attention off the aggressive original thing, and then it makes it a little easier to have more space and give you more opportunities to leave. So, awareness is your first thing. Just avoid the trouble. But as I told you before, once trouble is observed, don't run. And now he's all worked up, and say he's even far away and you run, and he snaps the leash and the guy can't hold him and he runs off. Once he starts chasing you, if he's on you, you keep running, bad news, bad news. You better get behind something, or you better have something with you. Now that's my next object I was going to tell you. A good hiking walking stick, a solid oak one. Not one of these aluminum things that won't hold up there and weigh 10 ounces. A heavy duty one. If your dog goes to pull you off balance, you have it for use. If you have a dog coming at you, you can poke him with it. And or if he gets on top of your dog, you can use it to get him off. You know, you can take that thing and hit him so hard between the legs or on the head, or poke him in the ribs and you can get him off the dog. So a walking stick would be good, especially if you're a woman out there who can't pick up a 100-pound Rottweiler. You gotta have something. Now, I'm gonna tell you one more story, and I will call this, because some of these animals are way tougher than you think, even if you got a gun. We had two Rottweilers were running together. They got out of the yard. Okay, I gotta stop and restart this because it's 16 minutes. So, this is in the middle of a big park of a big city in Colorado, in the middle of town. And it was running around biting people and attacking dogs. Two Rottweilers, big ones. Well, I get there a little late and I'm hearing shots going off. The guy that got there in front of me, who eventually got fired, but not for this particular circumstance, had shot one of the Rottweilers going after a kid. And the thing kept going. So we chased it, and he hit it with a car, rolled it over, and it got up, it still kept going. He shot 2 or 3 more times to stop that Rottweiler. With a 9mm police issued handgun. And my mother was cruising. Rottweilers are tough. If you gotta fight a Rottweiler with your bare hands, you're probably not gonna do too well. I'm just telling you right now. So you better have one of these sprays that works, and you better have a walking stick. You can dissuade him and break his attention, and maybe he'll run off. But some of these animals are way more powerful than you think, even if you have a gun. If you got like a small little gun, you shoot a Rottweiler up close, you may not make it home, I'm telling you now. I'm not joking either. So it's better to avoid it at first. Don't run. You do commands like I was telling you. If you have to, use your spray. Or use your stick. You can just don't be aggressive, just wave it around so he doesn't want to get hit. Because even if you're doing it easy, he's not going to want to get hit with a stick. But if you start banging on him, then you might have a fight in your hands. So 99.9% of the time you walk your dog, you won't have any of these issues, but then I wouldn't have a reason to make the video. I'm addressing it for people who do have the issue. Because it can happen on occasion. So be aware. If you see trouble coming, because in a lot of instances you can see them coming down the street if you're in the city. Out in the country, walking on the dog trails is a different thing. And if you see it coming, go the other way. Find a spot where you have something that gets between you and the dog, so you can't just run directly and charge you. You got to go around the car, something like that, gives you more chance to get your stick banging on the car, scare them off, whatever it takes. Think ahead. You want something between you and that dog. Any open space between you and any dog. I don't care if it's a Chihuahua, legs this big. Your slow human legs are not going to outrun the Chihuahua, much less any of these dogs we were talking about before. So, running, you just make it more prey drive, more determined to come and get you.